Brickyard for qualifying is officially concluded from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Chase Briscoe has won the pole. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to your video. As I just said a second ago, Brickyard for qualifying is officially done from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and Chase Briscoe has won the pole. That is Chase Briscoe's fifth pole of 2025, which is kind of wild considering I believe coming into this year, Chase Briscoe only maybe had like one or two career poles coming into 2025. But now, so far this year, Chase Briscoe scored 5 poles so far this season. He's kind of taken the race of Michael McDowell on winning a lot of poles, considering Michael McDowell had like 6 or 7 last year, and now Chase Briscoe is the guy who is winning a lot of poles in the NASCAR Cup Series. But this is a pretty emotional moment for him, considering Chase Briscoe obviously is from Mitchell, Indiana, which his home track is Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and he has been really fast throughout 2025, and that momentum over the course of the last couple weeks, I think is really starting to carry because, well, yes, he hasn't had great races when he's gone on to win poles. He's been able to have a lot of good runs as of late, back-to-back runner finishes coming into the weekend, and I think a lot of that momentum is coming in. And remember, he won the race at Pocono, a track very similar to Indianapolis Motor Speedway when it comes to strategy, among other things as well. So nonetheless, congratulations to Chase Briscoe on winning his first ever Brickyard 400 pole. He's trying to get that 19 car in victory lane, looking to get his second win in 2025, but also could be his 4th career NASCAR Cup Series win. I think Briscoe's got a really solid car. He had some pretty good speed in the practice session as well. So nonetheless, congratulations to Chase Briscoe on winning the pole. A massive deal and fantastic to see him go out there and win another pole in the NASCAR Cup Series in 2025. So now we're going to take a look at the top qualifiers and talk about who are the favorites going into the event tomorrow. So Chase Briscoe wins the pole. Bubba Wallace qualifies second. Just misses out on getting his first pole of 2025, but man, really impressive speed from Bubba Wallace. He had really good speed in practice earlier today as well. This historically is one of Bubba Wallace's best racetracks. Of course, won a stage last year during the Brickyard 400. Impressed with the speed that Bubba Wallace showed. Had a solid race last week at Dover. Good speed for Bubba. He'll be starting on the front row in second position. Eric Jones qualified third. That 43 car and the other car for John Hunter look really good out there. Jones qualifying up front. Eric Jones had really good speed, especially on the longer runs. Had really good speed in practice. The Legacy Motor Club cars have come to play this week. Really impressive speed for Eric Jones. He'll be starting in third. Tyler Reddick qualified fourth. It looked like he was going to have a chance and an opportunity to maybe go out there and win the pole. Just missed it on the final corner to get the opportunity to do it, but nonetheless, once ahead, starting up inside the top 5. Solid speed for Tyler Reddick. He'll be starting in 4th position tomorrow. Ty Gibbs qualified 5th. Continues to have a lot of momentum. 7 straight top 15s coming into the weekend. Head of Ty Dillon, of course, he is competing for the in-season tournament. If he beats Ty Dillon, he'll win $1 million. He could have the opportunity to also win his first career Cup Series race at the Brickyard 400 tomorrow. Really impressive speed from Ty Gibbs. He'll be starting in 5th position. William Byron qualified 6th. That is the best Hendrick Motorsports car in the qualifying session, and really none of the other Hendrick cars are really close in qualifying. Byron had a really solid qualifying lap, did show some decent speed in practice today as well. A little bit off, especially on the longer runs, but still solid speed for Byron. He'll be starting in 6th place. Good job for William Byron. Chris Buescher qualified 7th, the fastest of the RFK cars, actually the fastest Ford in this qualifying session. Ford's a little bit down on the charts, unfortunately, today, but solid speed for Buescher, starting 7th, kind of track very similar to Pocono, and Buescher was really, really good at Pocono earlier this year, so he'll be starting 7th. Good job for him. Carson Osberg qualified 8th. Good job for Hocevar. Once again, qualifies really well. He qualified really well in other races this year, starting inside the top 10 in 8th place. Good job for Hocevar. He'll be starting inside the top 10. AJ Allmendinger qualified 9th. The last Crown Jewel race we had, which was a Coke 600, guess where he qualified? Inside the top 10. Once again, he qualified inside the top 10 here. Very impressed with the speed from AJ Allmendinger. And Austin Center qualified 10th. Their car is a lot better in the qualifying trim than it was in the race trim, but he is the best of the Penske cars by quite a bit of margin. A little bit of work to do in the race, but starting inside the top 10, really good job for Austin Center. Shane Van Gisbergen qualifies 11th. Just misses out on getting his first ever top 10 ovals, top 10 start. But very impressive SVG. He had solid speed in practice today as well, and was way ahead of his teammates. This has been what we've been wanting to see, because one of the issues that SVG has had is he'll finish races a lot better than where he qualifies. He can work with this. 11th place is really, really good. I think that 88 car actually has some decent speed. I had this race circled for Shane Van Gisbergen because he's been really good at road courses, and a lot of road course guys run really well in Indianapolis, like a Juan Montoya, for example. Really impressive to speed from SVG. He is starting to figure out these ovals. He'll be starting in 11th. Good job for Shane Van Gisbergen. Kyle Busch qualified 12th. He had a pretty good lap going, but unfortunately got in the outside wall near the end of it, but still recovered to start inside the top 15 in 12th place. Not sure if he'll have to go to the rear, but the damage he had but he'll be starting in 12th. Solid job for Kyle Busch. Kyle Larson qualified 13th. He had a really good lap going, was in contention to get the pole, but he backed out coming off of turn number 2, nearly got in the outside wall. Larson has a pretty good car despite starting back in 13th. He had a pretty good car, especially on the short run, so I think we'll have a car capable to get up there by the end. Just a little work to do in the race, but he'll be starting in 13th. Brad Keselowski qualified 14th. He's been getting better at qualifying this year and being a little quicker with the RFK racing machines. Solid starting spot inside the top 14. Good job for Brad Keselowski. Joe Logano qualified 15th. Didn't really have a lot of speed in practice, but he did a good job in qualifying today. He'll start inside the top 15. Chris Bell qualified 16th. He has been way off this weekend, unfortunately. Just didn't have the speed in practice earlier today. Recovered a little bit in the qualifying trim, but compared to all the other Toyotas up front, he's a little bit off of the other Toyotas. Got some work to do in the race. Josh Berry qualified 17th. 18th for Noah Gragson. 19th starting spot for Todd Gillen. And Austin Dillon qualified 20th. Not terrible for Austin Dillon, all things considered. Alex Bowman qualified 21st. Alex Bowman had a solid lap going, but unfortunately, I think he got in the outside wall, got a little damage on his car. Gonna have a little bit of work to do on that car. He'll be starting in 21st. Michael McDowell qualified 22nd. He had a pretty good lap going, got in the outside wall, got some damage on the car. I'm thinking they're going to probably have to go to a backup for that car, unfortunately. He'll be starting in the back of the pack most likely, but he qualified 22nd. Ryan Preece qualified 23rd. Decent speed, but not amazing qualifying trim, but he'll start 23rd. Ryan Blaney qualified 24th. That number 12 car has been way off this weekend, which is shocking and surprising considering how good Ryan Blaney was last year here and considering how good he was at Pocono. A little surprised with the lack of speed from the 12th car this week. He'll be starting 24th. 25th place starting spot for Riley Herbst. 26th qualifying position for Ty Dillon. 27th for Zane Smith. 28th for Justin Haley. 29th for Cole Custer. And Chase Elliott qualified 30th. Chase Elliott has not really had a lot of speed to begin with, unfortunately, this week. And Chase got in the outside wall, got a tiny bit of damage on the car. I don't think he'll have to go to the rear of the field with damage that he did have on the car, but he'll be starting in the back. A lot of work to do. He'll have to try to play a lot of strategy to get up front. Quite a bit of work to do in the race tomorrow. Dale Soares qualified 31st, way behind his teammate Shane Van Gisbergen. He didn't have any pace and speed, really hasn't any speed this weekend at all. Unfortunately, he'll be starting in 31st. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. qualified in 32nd. Ross Chastain qualified 33rd. Really surprised considering Ross is actually pretty good at this race last year, if I remember correctly, for getting involved in a crash last year. Got a little work to do in the race. Going to have to play some strategy to try to get up there. He'll start in 33rd. Cody Ware qualified 34th. Jesse Love qualified in 35th. John Nemechek, who had a really, really fast lap going, would have been inside the top 5. He got in the outside wall, got damage on the car, broke the right rear toe link. He'll have to go to a backup car, most likely go to the rear with the repairs. He'll be starting 36 at the moment. Josh Wheatley qualified 37th. Catherine Lane qualified in 38th, the slowest on speed. And Denny Hamlin qualified last in 39th because Denny Hamlin was on track to get the pole for the Brickyard 400. But unfortunately for Denny Hamlin, he hit the outside wall, got a ton of damage on the car, and he basically hit the inside wall really hard. Kind of very similar to the 2013 Auto Club crash he had. He'll have a lot of work to do in the race. They had a really fast car. They're going to have to go to backup more than likely. I don't think they'll get that car repaired. I could be wrong on that front, but I don't think that car will be repairable. He got a lot of damage on that car. That was one of the hardest hits I have seen. Very treacherous conditions during qualifying. So, that is the cars that qualified. Let's talk about what to expect in the race tomorrow. The track conditions seem to be very, very treacherous. If qualifying is any indication, we could be in for a massive wreck fest during the Brickyard 400. But maybe they'll get the track fixed because Kyle Larson brought this up. Apparently the track was coming up during qualifying, and I think that's what threw so many guys for a loop during qualifying today. That's why I think Chase Sully got in the wall. I think that's why Denny Hamlin got into the outside wall and then spun into the inside wall. That's why John Hunter Nemechek ended up crashing. That's why Michael McDowell ended up having issues and problems, because these guys were having a lot of treacherous conditions out there. So I think that's why there's a possibility this race could be wild. Track position is also going to be very, very key. You're going to want to have to get up to the front, and strategy is going to be a major, major proponent of this race because you're wanting to be up front because it's going to be so hard to pass tomorrow. How these next-gen cars are, it is going to be really difficult to pass. The driver to watch out for, I'll throw Kyle Larson up there. If Denny Hamlin can get up there, though I think it's going to be tough, I think he'll be a factor. I think that Chase Elliott has an okay car, but he doesn't have the fastest car out there. I think the legacy cars are ones to watch, especially Eric Jones. I do expect him to have some pace and speed, and I'll throw guys out there, like I said, like the legacy cars of Eric Jones and John Hunter. They looked really, really good out there, especially on a longer run. And I think you got some other guys that are going to be pretty big factors in the race tomorrow, including Ty Gibbs, who I think could be a factor to get it done, and same with Chase Briscoe and Bubba Wallace as well. So that is going to be for reactions to Brickyard 400 qualifying from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's go to below that and comment below your thoughts below on today's episode. Your thoughts on Brickyard 400 qualifying, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and congratulate Chase Briscoe on winning the pole. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In a couple hours from now, depending on how the weather is throughout the race, we should have the race review for the Xfinity Series race at Indianapolis. Then tomorrow on the channel, we're going to have the starting lineup video for the Brickyard 400. We are also going to have the Cup review for the Brickyard 400, and we should have maybe an SVG video dropping depending on his performance from Indianapolis tomorrow. And then, of course, on some Monday, we'll have a NASCAR news video. We'll talk about Denny Hamlin's contract extension, Stuart Friesen's disqualification, him appealing that disqualification, Connor Zilch maybe possibly revealing his plans for 2026, accidentally talk about his plans for next year, among other things like Rocky and being sold as well. We got content coming on people like Haley Dean, Shane Van Gisbergen, Collards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bolas, Ross Chastain, Cletus Safar, Dodge, Ram, Frankie Muniz, Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Carson, Quaffle, Junior Motorsports, Red Bull, Connor Zilch, you name it. Eric Amaral will talk about all that kind of stuff on the channel in the coming days and weeks. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.